Hey Jet fans, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today's episode is going to be about training camp, and I actually have a special guest with me, Max Malitsky. He's actually one of my very close friends, and he's actually one of my football teammates. He's very good at football. He plays on a national team. He plays for a Connecticut All-Star team for football. He is very good. As you can see, he's a Patriots fan now. It's very rare that I would have a Patriots fan on my show. I especially have the audacity to wear a Patriots jersey on a Jets
But you,
show.
but you did this year because the Patriots are gonna beat the Jets again.
No, they're not. Listen. Before we get right into this, I just want to say, Max, we have Aaron Rodgers now. We have Sauce Gardner now. We have Garrett Wilson. We have everybody. I think we're going to beat you guys at least once this year.
Yeah, at least once.
All right,
But oh
so
my god.
All right, so today's episode is going to be about training camp. We're going to be talking about different news in training camp. So let's get started. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is, of course, a report by Aaron Rodgers stating that he is not planning on retirement anytime soon. I am so happy to hear that news. Aaron Rodgers is just an amazing athlete, amazing quarterback. Max, what do you think about this news? Like, do you think how long do you think he'll be the Jets QB for?
I mean, I don't think he's gonna last much longer. I feel like he's gonna play for them for one season and just see how bad the Jets are, and just I think he'll leave.
One season, really? I think I'm gonna say at least two. That's just what I'm saying. I'm saying at least two. Yeah, he may be turning 40 this year, but I don't know. I just think I think A-Rod, at least he's a great athlete. I just think he at least is gonna be here for at least 2 years. Um,
Yeah, I mean, now that the Jets are actually they're a decent team this year. If they
Decent,
make it to the playoffs, I think it will make him want to play
right?
more.
Right, and
Just
and the Jets do have a very high chance of making the playoffs this year. They have really high expectations, which is what I love, and I have high expectations for them. What about those Patriots, Max? You have high expectations for them?
I mean, not really, Jack. I feel like they're going to finish at the bottom of the league. A lot of injuries, quarterback. We have a lot of quarterback issues.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I mean, Zappy didn't look terrible last year. You think Zappy could become the starter maybe next year? Do you think Jones is still your future?
I mean, I honestly don't know what's happening with their quarterback situation.
Yeah.
But there were reports that Mac Jones in training camp wasn't releasing the ball soon enough. So it's kind of
I did get some notifications about that. I did hear that the Patriots were doing actually pretty well in training camp, which is not what I want to hear, but of course it's what you guys you Patriots fans want to hear. It's not something I would never want to hear. How painful is it as a Patriots fan for you? How painful is it to hear that the Jets are thriving in training camp right now?
I mean, I'm not worried about the Jets. I'm worried about Miami, Jack.
Miami, you're
Like,
not worried about the Jets at all?
no, every year,
Underestimating,
every year,
underestimating. Oh
every
my
year.
god. Okay. All right. So, you got some news for me, or like what's up?
But yeah, so the first full padded practice was a couple of days ago,
Yep.
and Matthew Judon, Ramondre Stevenson, and Trent Brown were all out. And I
Wow.
think, yeah, those are the three top
Did
players.
they all get injured, or was it just Stevenson?
They're all limited.
Yeah. So
Like,
Stevenson, so you guys, so with the loss of Damian Harris, do you think Stevenson is going to be the RB1 this season, even though he could be out for some time?
I honestly, I think Kevin Harris could start
Kevin
over him.
Harris. Wow. Okay. Okay. I actually got Stevenson in my fantasy yesterday when we were doing the draft
Uh-oh.
yesterday. So, I mean, technically, I didn't really.
Yeah,
But
doesn't
he's my
work.
backup. He's my backup. My starter is Brees Hall, I'm pretty sure. I mean, first of all, 50% of that pick was bias. But then second of
Yeah,
all was just for, I feel like Brees is gonna, put up some points this year. He may be coming back from an ACL injury, but I feel like he'll be doing pretty good.
yeah.
Um,
I feel like their Jets passing game is going to be really strong because they have
yeah,
some of the top receivers in the league, and they have Aaron Rodgers.
yeah. It's definitely gonna be a good season for the Jets. Um, it's gonna be it's kind of weird because I haven't felt this feeling in a long time. The Jets have such so high expectations. People are even saying that they're AFC Championship contenders. Do you think they are?
I mean, the thing is, Jack, it's I know Buffalo's getting the first seed. We
Yeah.
all know that. But the thing is,
Okay.
who's going to get the second? Is it going to be Miami or is it going to be the Jets?
I think Miami. I don't even think the Jets are gonna go third. I think the Jets are gonna go first.
You
And
do? You
okay,
think the
well,
Jets are going to go over the
okay,
Bills?
okay. They have a chance.
Um,
Okay, listen to me. If we could beat the Bills with Zach Wilson, I strongly believe we could beat them with Aaron Rodgers. And yeah, Josh Allen's elbow was hurt that game. Well, we hurt his elbow, but here, look. Bills may not have the best luck when it comes to playing the Jets this year because yeah, the Jets have Aaron. Yeah, they have Josh Allen. Yeah, they have Stephon Diggs. Yeah, they have Matt Milano, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Trey White. Yeah, all that. But we have young talent. You know, Josh Allen's starting. I mean, this is going to be his 6th year in the NFL. Oh, okay, I can't really be talking because Rodgers, 39. But here's the thing: we have such a young team. I'm pretty sure Rodgers is our oldest player. So I mean, with that young team, Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, I think we could all. I think we could beat the Bills this year.
yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty impressive if they did
I
because
know, and like I don't. If we took over the East, man, I feel like, and it's hard to think if the Jets actually take over the AFC East this year. The Jets, can you? I don't think I would ever have heard this in my entire life. The New York Jets getting bandwagon fans. Can you imagine that? If they do good.
no.
All right, so let's go back to training camp. So apparently, Aaron Rodgers says Zach Wilson is thriving in practice. Uh, I still have to watch some clips of it. I've seen training camp clips. They're very good. Unfortunately, Garrett Wilson tweaked his ankle, but looks like Zach Wilson's gonna do good, and he's starting tomorrow in the Hall of Fame game. So how do you think Zach's gonna do?
Um, I mean, I think he's going to do really well because
Yeah.
I think he's good enough to become a starting quarterback, just not because Aaron Rodgers is on their team.
Yeah.
So I think Zach Wilson's going to do really well.
Right, especially because he's learning under Rodgers. If you learn under Aaron Rodgers, then you're definitely becoming better if you're learning under a veteran quarterback, future Hall of Famer like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear some training camp news. Max, you got anything?
Um. Well, I also wanted to talk about the potential signings.
All
So
right.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Ooh, didn't he meet up with the? Isn't he? Didn't he meet up with the Patriots?
Yeah. So he made it. He made it up with the Patriots. But the thing is, if Patriots signed him, I feel like it would be a waste because I mean, I think it would be like running back too.
You're
I
wrong,
don't even think
really?
he's.
Yeah, that's the same with me. Because I feel like the Jets, when the Jets met up with Dalvin Cook, I was like, okay, is he going to be RB1 or RB2? Because I feel like he should be RB2 because Brees Hall coming back from injury. I think we still should give Brees Hall that starter opportunity. Plus, if he didn't get injured last season, he was definitely by far the front runner for offensive rookie of the year. So I don't know. Cook is still taking his time, but we're just gonna have to see how it goes. And Zeke, by the way, are you mad that he didn't sign with the Patriots yet?
No, I honestly hope he doesn't sign with the
Oh
Patriots
wow. Okay.
because I feel like it's just a waste.
Right,
He wants a lot of money probably. I mean,
right, and he's getting old too, so that's gonna catch up on him.
yeah.
All right, so let's see here. Um, didn't So let's see. Jordan Love, I heard, is actually not doing pretty bad in practice for the Green Bay Packers. What
I
do you think about
mean,
that?
I don't think the Packers are gonna go anywhere. Like,
Well, okay, all right. I have the Packers going 7-10 this season. That's what all right, 6-11 or 7-10. That's what I have the Green Bay Packers going at. What do you have them going at?
I have them going at like 4-13
Wow. Okay.
because
All right.
it's a rookie quarterback. He has like no experience. I don't think he's the next Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
He's mediocre receivers, and the run game's okay.
I mean, if you got Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, I would say that run game is actually pretty good. Aaron Jones for me is pretty slept on. Like I feel like a lot of people don't really appreciate him a lot as they used to. Like people used to compare him with prime Dalvin Cook, Ezekiel Elliott was in his prime. I mean, I love Aaron Jones. Yeah, he may not be the same as he was, but I feel like he's still pretty underrated in my opinion. And AJ Dillon, man, he's got two heck of like quads, man. He's called Quadzilla for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Jones is. I think he's a top 10 running back in the league right now.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of all depends. If the Packers go 4-13, 5-12, I don't feel like they'll be starting a dynasty anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is like a quarterback-driven league, so it's just
Right.
honestly like getting a good quarterback is
Right.
that's why Jets are going to probably have a really good season this year.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and I think you told me this before we started. You want to talk about just think if you think Aaron Rodgers is still a top 10 quarterback. So give me your thoughts and let's see what you think.
All right. So obviously the number one quarterback is Patrick Mahomes,
Obviously, yeah.
and then my number two, I have Joe Burrow,
Okay.
Josh Allen,
Okay.
and then the fourth spot, I'd probably say Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Oh, okay. Do you have five Justin Herbert or like who do you have at five?
Jalen Hurts, and then I have Justin Herbert after him.
Okay.
So
It's
that's a
pretty good
fifth
so
spot,
far.
I think. And then for my sixth spot, I might have. This is a tough one because
Most people put Aaron Rodgers there, so I'd probably put A Rod at six or five.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't like there's not many. I feel like there's like five powerhouse quarterbacks, and then it's
Yeah.
just yeah,
This is a kind of I don't know if this is currently a hot take or not, but I feel like Trevor Lawrence is just a tiny bit overrated in my opinion. He started off the season 2-6, and yeah, he did amazing. I'm not saying he did awful. I'm saying like he did amazing last season. I'm saying I think people are hyping him up a little too much. People are calling him a top five, top four quarterback. I just don't see it. I think he's like the seventh or eighth best right now, maybe even ninth, but people are comparing him to like Jalen Hurts or Justin Herbert. I just don't feel like he's there yet. Definitely by the end of this season, I feel like he'll be a top six or top five quarterback. But I'm just saying, after last season, I don't know if he's a top five, if we could top five yet. But
yeah. I feel like most of his career, I feel like so far has been just carried off of what he did in college.
right?
I mean, I think he's definitely a top 10 quarterback,
Yeah, me
but I
too.
think he's like
I don't
probably
think he's
number nine
top five
on
yet,
that list.
though. I don't think he's top five.
Yeah, definitely not. Who do you
Because
think's better, him or Justin Fields?
Oh, definitely Trevor Lawrence. I still don't know why they put Fields at 86. Like you put Fields almost 10 spots over T-Law. Like, I mean, I love Justin Fields. I mean, he's great, but like, here's the thing. Like, if you put Fields over Lawrence currently, especially in the top 100 right now, I'm not really going to agree with that. Maybe Fields can be like 98, 99, maybe like it's just like I don't know. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is definitely the best out of the 2021 draft class. My ranking goes this. So, number six, I'm going to go Davis Mills on that one. I feel like Mills didn't really prove anything. Number five, Zach Wilson. Actually, no, number five, Trey Lance, because we never really got to see him. Number four, Zach Wilson. Number three is Mac Jones. Number two is Justin Fields, and the number one's Trevor Lawrence. I still think Trevor Lawrence is definitely the best one out of that 2021 draft class for the quarterbacks.
Yeah. Wait,
Um,
wasn't two on that too?
that he was 2020. Tua was 2020. Let's see, Max, do you got any more training camp news? Because I have some that I really need to add
I
some.
mean, on the Patriots, nothing else really.
All right. What about so here's some training camp news for me. Mekhi Becton is currently like saying that like they didn't give him like you know who Mekhi Becton is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're now he's saying now that they didn't give him the right knee surgery, so like we'll see how he does, but um he actually he's actually not looking that terrible in training camp, and he said he doesn't care what because they might move his position. He said he doesn't really care what position they put him at as long as he's on the field. He said he doesn't really care what he's at. And also the um so how do you think the Hall of Fame game is gonna go tomorrow?
I mean, I think the Jets are definitely gonna like. I think they're gonna blow the Browns out. I just feel like the Browns' backup quarterback is like nothing compared to the Jets' backup quarterback.
Right. And so I'm gonna go a little bit off topic for a second. Do you think how well do you think the Broncos are a contender this year for playoffs? Because I actually think with Sean Payton's talking all this junk about the Jets, like he is just Oh my! I used to like Sean Payton. I don't really like him anymore because he's beefing with the Jets. I mean, like really, like you actually, and then we're playing them in week 5. So I mean, I can't wait to beat them. But what do you think about the Broncos? Do you think they're contenders or pretenders?
I mean, the receiving core is like below average. Their
Right.
quarterback Russell Wilson, I mean, he's nothing good. I mean, their team
Yeah. I mean,
one good player. Like,
I mean, only having one bad season. I mean, I feel like he could bounce back with Sean Payton, but I don't know. I have the Broncos going like 8-9 or 9-8 this season after their terrible, terrible 5-12 seasons last year. Like
yeah,
I feel like that was one of the worst seasons in NFL history. Getting like like blown out like 40. I think what is it? What was it? What was that game against the Rams? 49 to
my bad. You just called
no,
me.
no, you're fine. What was that game? Like 49-12 or something like that against the Rams. It was like it was absolutely atrocious. But I feel like Sean Payton's definitely, and as much as I don't really like him anymore, I feel like Sean Payton will turn around some of that stuff that happened last year, especially now with Nathaniel Hackett gone. He's the offensive coordinator of the Jets, and many people are saying to me like, "Hey, Jack, don't overhype your team because you have Nathaniel Hackett as your OC." Look, not every do you agree with this? I don't know if you agree with this or not, but I don't think every single offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator is going to be a good head coach. That's just not their thing. Maybe their thing is an offensive or defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I feel like it's more like
Yeah,
positioned off.
yeah, and because like they're also like, and Nathaniel Hackett, he had definitely one of the worst coaching seasons of all time, head coaching seasons of all time last season. But he's great. He led the Packers to a couple NFC championships and the Jaguars to the AFC championship in 2017. Like, I would love to have a coach that would bring me to the conference championships like a lot because I feel like Nathaniel Hackett definitely could do that. And with your new OC, how do you think he's gonna do this season? Like, how do you think he's gonna do?
I mean, I don't. I feel like he's definitely going to be better than our old offensive
Who
coordinator.
was it? Bill O'Brien? Like this one?
The new one, yeah, I think the new offensive coordinator is Bill O'Brien,
Yeah.
and then yeah, Matt Patricia was the old one.
He used to be the defensive coordinator too, but I like it didn't. Mac Jones actually was so mad at him last year for calling like the most like the
Yeah, like
most
let me
terrible
throw the
plays.
ball.
Like
Yeah,
I get the frustration. I mean, if I had a terrible like coach like coaching me, especially if he's not really familiar, like especially if he's not like familiar with hosting that like thing, then I don't know. I feel like that team would struggle a lot. So I mean, it kind of depends. Like Bill O'Brien, he's not terrible, but he's also like not amazing, but like he's not terrible. So I don't know. We'll have to see how it pans out. Um, and Juju Smith Schuster now is your wide receiver one. You got any thoughts about that?
no, no. I mean, I feel like he's better at TikToks than football. Like, I mean, I, I don't know how he'll do. I feel like we don't have. I feel like they'll develop Tyquan Thornton into receiver one
Right,
just because I don't know how well like Juju will do.
right.
We'll see this season. I mean, he
Now,
did win the Super Bowl
yeah,
last year.
right with Christian Gonzalez now is your cornerback one, and possibly the steal of the draft. As much as I hate to say this, I think the Patriots definitely had the steal of the draft. Getting Christian Gonzalez, so
Yeah,
many teams had so many chances to get him. Gonzalez ended up in the Patriots' hands. I don't know how. Um,
I mean to get
I
him that late in the draft is really impressive for the
yeah, I
Patriots.
mean, especially because I thought he was gonna go at least top 5 in the draft, but no, he fell to like the I think what you guys have the 16th pick. I think you guys had
Yeah, I think we had 14 pick. I think.
14th or
I
16th pick. So around that, but like I
yeah.
really don't know how. I honestly thought the uh the Bears were gonna get him after they
Yeah.
traded for the Panther like after they traded their number 1 pick away for the Panthers. I thought
Who did
the
the
Bears
Bears get?
the Panthers the wait who the Panthers
Who did the Bears get?
Bears. I
Yeah.
think they got. I don't know, but I'll double check after this video. You know what? Let me research it right now. Actually, mid video research right here.
And then,
Uh,
how do you think Will Levis is going to do? Do you think he'll start over
I
Ryan
think he'll be
Tannehill?
the backup for at least the majority of the season, but I feel like he'll take over Tannehill's spot maybe like week 13, week 14. Tannehill's not going to be good this season. I'm going to say Titans are going to be one of the worst teams this year. I say the Titans get the third overall pick. They're going to go 4 and
Even with
13.
D Hop, Jack.
Oh, I forgot to get. So D Hop, I'm gonna say they push him to an extra win, 5 and 12. I still think they're gonna get the third overall pick. Cardinals, I think are gonna get the first with a record of 3 and 14 or 2 and 15. I really do not think the Cardinals are gonna do good at all this season. Kyler Murray, he's okay. I really think he's pretty.
Kyler Murray just his size really.
I mean, he was good even with being small. I really think he was pretty good. He used to be a borderline top 10 quarterback, like debatably 10, like top 10, but like now he's got no weapons. Marquise Brown is his wide receiver one. Like it's not the worst, but it's like also not the best because it's and James Conner. He was good a couple seasons ago. Now he's not really that great anymore. And their defense, Buda Baker is really all they got after the J.J. Watt retirement. I just think the Cardinals are going to be atrocious.
Yeah, and I mean, as he's getting older, his like body's getting more beat up, so it's hard for him to use like his elusiveness. So
Right. So I also have another question for you. Who do you think's gonna start? Who do you think's gonna be the starting QB this year for the Buccaneers? Baker or Kyle?
I think, well, obviously Baker already is, but the question
Right.
is, should Kyle Trask have been starting over him?
Like, do you
And
think they
I
made
don't
the right
think that.
decision? Do you think they made the right decision?
I think they made the right decision. I
Me
mean,
too.
I haven't seen much about Kyle Trask or Baker Mayfield.
I've seen both of their highlights. They're not looking good. Like I've seen their
Yeah.
training camp highlights. They're not looking good. They're throwing inaccurate passes, incomplete passes. I just don't think they're gonna do good. That's why I think the Buccaneers, even without Tom Brady, I feel the Buccaneers could have been pretty good, but it's
Yeah.
just the quarterback play has not really been great here in Tampa. So that's why I'm gonna say the Buccaneers finished with a record of 5 and 12 this year.
I
So
have been going 4-13.
4 and 13, yeah. Um, you know,
They just have a quarterback.
so I mean, um, the Buccaneers are definitely one of those odd teams in the NFL right now. They're kind of unpredictable. That's also same with the Miami Dolphins right now. Yeah, no, I think the Dolphins are going to make the playoffs 100%, but like they're kind of unpredictable when they get to the playoffs. Do they make it past the first round? Do they get knocked out in the first round? Do they make it to the second round? Like it's like I just don't know where to put them right now in the playoffs. Depending on seeds and if they make it to the divisional or AFC championship, I just don't know where to put them right now because I feel like they're pretty unpredictable. I feel like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are definitely one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver duo in the league. But I just, especially
I
like,
don't think they're making the playoffs.
oh, you don't think they're making the playoffs?
I mean,
Hot take, hot take. Wow, I did
all
not
right.
see that one coming.
Do you want to hear my predictions for each division?
Sure, sure, sure.
All right, so you might not like this. This is the AFC East.
All right.
I have the Bills coming in at 12-5,
Okay.
and next up I have the Patriots at 11-6.
All right.
No, but so basically they have a really
What?
easy
It's 11-6 for New England?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my God. Are
they
you
have a-
serious?
They have a really easy schedule this year.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, Max. I don't agree with that.
Just Jack, we're gonna look back at this in week 17. All right. And
All
we're gonna
right.
see.
All right. All right. We'll see.
Um
Patriots are going
yeah.
7-10.
Then I have the all right, Jack. No, they're not. They're much better this year than last year, I think.
All right.
Right?
Well, maybe. All right.
I mean,
So
and last year they went 9-8 or something like
I
that.
think they
So
went 8-9. All right. Who do
yeah.
you have a third? Who do you have a third?
Third is Miami at 9-8.
Okay. Oh, you have the Jets finishing last?
Yeah.
At what?
I don't think the Jets are making the playoffs, honestly.
Oh.
I just feel like you guys have like a new quarterback. I mean,
But it's A-Rod. It's not. You've seen how he is. Like I feel like many people think we're gonna be like the Broncos all over again with Russell Wilson. I don't think so. I think we're gonna be like the Buccaneers when they got Tom Brady.
I don't think that. I don't think that A-Rod is anything compared to like Russell Wilson. A-Rod is so much better, but
Right.
I just don't know how well you guys will do.
Right.
All right, so this is my AFC North
All
predictions.
right. All right.
So I have the Bengals at the top, obviously coming in at 13-3,
Okay.
pretty realistic. And then I have the Ravens at 10-7
Okay.
because Lamar stayed. They have a pretty solid
What about
team,
OBJ?
and Ben Mason's on that team too.
Ah, let's go, Ben Mason.
And then I have the Steelers at 9-8. I
All
mean,
right.
I feel like their quarterback issue, like they haven't impressed me. Kenny Pickett's all right. I
Right.
mean, George Pickens is obviously like nasty,
Oh my
and I
God! Did you
think,
see that one-handed catch in practice?
yeah, bro.
Oh
And then he
my
gave him a
God, that was
souvenir.
nasty.
And then he gave him a souvenir.
Yeah, especially with that catch last year too. That was insane.
Yeah. And then at 3-14, I have the Browns.
Oh,
I
oh
mean,
my, 3-14. You don't think Deshaun's gonna have a bounce back season?
no. And I honestly hope he doesn't.
Yeah.
I really hope he doesn't. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
Yeah. I
And
agree on
I mean,
that.
who does he have to throw to
Amari
also?
Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones.
I don't think Browns are gonna do anything this year.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean,
And
I don't
then
know. I have the Browns going at like 8-9 or 7-10.
eight and
Maybe 9-8.
nine.
Maybe
I
nine
have
and
eight
eight if they
and
get lucky.
14.
Maybe 9-8 if they get lucky. But I
Wow.
say like 7-10 or 8-9. All right, who do you have the South? Do you have the South?
AFC South, I have Jacksonville at 12-5.
Okay, I
Really
could I could
good.
see that. I could see
I just
that.
yeah. Then I have the Titans at 9-8 because I
Okay.
feel like I mean they have a good quarterback. They have good quarterbacks, I guess. They
Oh,
have a good
Titans at nine.
receiver.
Oh, Titans at 9-8. I thought you said I don't know what I'm thinking right now. But you said Titans at
Uh,
9-8. Wow. Okay.
yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, I think they're gonna do really well, but
Right.
just not like 10. Like I don't think they're gonna get over 10, but they're gonna do pretty well, I think.
Okay. Who do you have at third?
So third I have the Colts at 9-8.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
Even with Jonathan Taylor requesting a trade.
yeah. I mean the run game's gonna be really weak, but I feel
Right.
like they have an easy schedule, and I don't think they're gonna finish like anywhere
They
close to
may
the
have an
Texans.
easy schedule, but I don't know. I think they're one of the more worst teams in the NFL. But that's just my opinion. We'll see how it plans out. Oh, and especially with the new rookie Anthony Richardson, how do you think he's gonna do?
Oh, I think he's gonna do amazing.
Do you think he's gonna be the
I'm
best
actually
quarterback in this draft class?
That's hard because
Right.
I mean there was a lot of good quarterbacks,
Yeah.
but
People are calling him the next Cam Newton.
I mean I just don't know how do. I mean the biggest factor on him is just his throwing form because he had a
Right.
really tough time with that in college.
Right.
So we'll see.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and then at 4-13, I have the Texans.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see anything in the Texans. They still haven't figured out their quarterback issue.
Right.
I mean, they have
All right. What about the AFC West?
so the AFC West at 14-3, I have the Chiefs.
Okay.
I mean, they always do really well.
Right.
And then I feel like this is really realistic. The Chargers are going 10-7.
Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah. I mean, an average season.
You think
And then I have the
you think Herbert's
Broncos.
gonna win MVP? A lot of people are still saying that.
No, not even.
Who's
Not
winning
even.
MVP?
Jackson, you're gonna like when I say this. I think A-Rod can win the MVP.
Yeah.
If everything goes right, A-Rod
Right.
has won the MVP so many times.
Oh my gosh, 5th MVP for A-Rod. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then yeah, so then I have the Broncos at 6-11. I mean, they're just an average team. They're nothing good, but yeah.
All
And
right.
then at 2-15, I have the Raiders
2-15. All right.
because I feel like who is their quarterback right now? Because
Garoppolo.
yeah, I mean that says it all. He's I think Garoppolo's too old to still be like in his prime, and
Right. I mean, he's
they
the
have
same age as Carr. I'm pretty sure. I think he's the same age as Derek Carr. So, I mean,
yeah, but Derek Carr did nothing with the Raiders too, so
he did something. He wasn't terrible. I mean,
yeah, he was like below average kind of.
yeah, he brought them to the playoffs. I mean, that's not terrible. The Jets were actually about to get him before he signed with the Saints, and then the Jets got A-Rod, which is I'm I'm so thankful for.
Yeah. Oh
So,
well, they do have they have Darren Waller, I think, and Devontae Adams. So
well, no, Darren Waller is a Giant now.
oh yeah, wait, who's the? I thought they signed a new tight end from the Raiders,
They
right?
could have, but like, I don't really know if they did or not. But
Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now. I
it's
heard they
it's
signed one.
it's really confusing because the Raiders are, like I said, Raiders are like one of those teams where you can go either way with. Raiders can even be good or they can be bad. Like 2021, um, they were good. The Raiders were pretty good. They even though they got knocked out in the first round of the 2021 NFL wild card against the Cincinnati Bengals, I still feel like they did pretty good. Um,
No, they. I think they did really well for
yeah.
but I just don't think that Garoppolo's as good as Derek Carr.
Right, me too. Oh, I just remembered who they got. So the Raiders actually just signed a tight end a few hours ago. I remember seeing that over the phone. It was Jacob Hollister. You remember him? Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Jake. Yeah, yeah.
So the Raiders signed Jacob Hollister like 3 hours ago or something, and I guess he's gonna be their new starting tight end. But I don't know. Like I said, Raiders are one of the most unpredictable teams, so we'll just see how it plans out.
Yes. And then another team I think that everyone's sleeping on is the Saints.
For me, I think it's the Falcons. I don't know. I just have that feeling. Uh, you know, Bijan Robinson's looking great in training camp. We'll just have to see how Desmond Ritter does. That's what I'm really most concerned about. Ritter. They have Kyle Pitts. Hopefully, Pitts. Gets more receptions and touchdowns this year. Last season he did terrible. I don't think I even heard one good thing about Pitts last year. Um,
Wait, Jack, what do you think of this? Do you think the Lions are Super Bowl contenders this year?
No, here's my thing. I used to say this a lot. I think I've said this in a couple of videos. I mean, they're all professionals. It doesn't matter what uniform you wear. They could win a Super Bowl. But here's the thing. Like, sometimes it does matter. But,
Yes.
they are all professionals. It's really unpredictable. But here's the thing. Like, a lot of players are greater than others, and I just feel like that's the case with the Lions. Like Jared Goff, definitely a borderline top 10 quarterback, maybe even top 10. Running back situation not so great. They got Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round when they
Yeah.
didn't when they could that was like the worst, possibly the worst or the worst pick of the draft. Like Jahmyr Gibbs, really? Like that's like one of
I,
your least of your
I mean,
concerns right now. So
yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think Jared Goff is better than Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, I mean, I could see that. Definitely has a way so like amazing stats. I could definitely see it. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say no to that. I can definitely see that.
I mean,
But
statistically, I think Jared Goff is a top five quarterback. If you're
he
looking,
definitely could be statistically. Do you
yeah.
think he's better with the Lions or the Rams like all time? Like, do you think he's better at the Rams or the Lions
I mean, I think he's been on the Lions as of now. Last season,
as
I
of now?
mean,
Yeah,
it was really good. I think this year people are still talking about them being
right.
Super Bowl
I mean,
contenders.
I think they're
Yeah.
playoff contenders. I'm just not gonna say Super Bowl yet. Like if you're a Super
Oh,
Bowl
definitely
contender,
playoffs.
oh no,
Well, I
definitely
mean, they,
playoffs.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
they're at least gonna. I don't think they're gonna win the North. I think the Vikings are gonna win the North again. But here's my North. But I'm gonna say Vikings number one, Lions number two, Packers number three, Bears number four. I still think Bears are gonna still be the last, at least by maybe I think it's gonna be
Wait,
close
in the
though.
NFC, Jack, you Vikings at number one.
No, NFC North, NFC North, just the NFC
Oh,
North.
okay.
NFC, I probably have to go with the Eagles again. Especially with Brock Purdy's injury, he could be healthy, but like at the same time he couldn't. So if he's not healthy, Sam Darnold or Trey Lance definitely could take over as a starter. And if you watch my videos, like when I was like a couple years back, I was a huge supporter of
You
Sam
love
Darnold.
Sam.
Oh, I still do. I still really do love Sam Darnold. He's a great guy. I've met him before. Um,
Okay, so and then do you want to hear my NFC
yeah,
East?
sure.
So I think the Eagles are gonna have a great season. I think they're gonna go 15-2.
Oh wow, okay,
Really, like that's really
okay.
good. That's probably
Who's their two losses to? Did you write those down?
I think they're too long. No, I think they were to either the Chiefs and the Bengals. I think those two.
Okay. What about the Jets? You think they're gonna beat the Jets again for the 13th time?
Yes.
Okay. The Jets have not beaten the Eagles one time. This is a fun fact for you guys. If you guys did not know this, the New York Jets have not beaten the Philadelphia Eagles ever in the regular season. They're 0-12 all time against the Eagles. Beaten them in preseason, but they've never beaten them. What do you have?
Yeah. So my number two spot, I have the Cowboys at 11-6.
Okay, I could definitely see that. Yeah, for me, I think the Cowboys. Actually, no, I think that's a perfect record for the Cowboys.
But they always choke. Second round, they're out of there, bro.
Yeah, usually the second. So, last year was second round, right? Yeah, against the four. And it's always to the 49ers. Like
Oh
2021,
yeah.
it was to the 49ers and the wild card, and then it was it the wild card or divisional? I think it was wild card,
Um.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so they got knocked out of the wild card by the 49ers in 2021, and then the next year in the divisional round, they got knocked out by the 49ers again. Like, I don't know, I think the Niners are their kryptonite.
Yeah.
But I feel like that would make a pretty good rivalry, though. Niners Cowboys. I feel like that could definitely be heated up. I feel like it already is kind of heating up. And Chiefs Bills is one of the biggest rivalries in the NFL right now. I can't wait to see them play. It's just going to be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Bengals and Bills are a pretty big rivalry too.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to start up.
Not because it's like the Damar Hamlin
Right.
thing, but I just feel like because we all know Patrick Mahomes is the number one spot,
Right.
but I feel like every time they win, they like put the winning quarterback
Right.
at the two spot. So
Right, yeah, and like it's a lot of things I don't get. Like, yeah, I mean, if your quarterbacks are a majority, like they're a huge majority of their team. Like, but yet again, football's a team sport. So if you win, you can't just make the quarterback. It's just, especially if they have a good game. Sure, put the quarterback over another quarterback. But people just I feel like just people don't really like remember that football's a team sport. So
yeah,
you can't really you don't win by yourself. You win by your teammates. And
yeah,
people underestimate the offensive line a lot. If you didn't have an offensive line,
yeah, definitely.
quarterback would be sacked instantly. If you didn't have a quarterback, you wouldn't get the playoff. If you didn't have a running back, you couldn't get some extra yardage at the 1 yard line.
Well, yeah, and if you didn't have receivers, who are they going to throw to?
Exactly. How are they going to get down the field? And if you didn't have a defense, you would get scored on. So every possession, and even a kicker, sometimes those games can get a game-winning field goal just by a kicker.
Yeah. Justin Tucker, that was
Oh
nasty.
yeah. Oh my God, greatest field goal of all time. And punter. I know many people are sleeping on punters, but if you have a good punt, if you have a good punt that can go to the 1 yard line, safety, stop them, get the ball back, possibly win the game. I feel like
I mean, as a Patriots fan, Bill Belichick's like he's really focused on positional,
right.
like where the ball, yeah.
But for me, I never want to hear the word punt return touchdown again because of last season. Marcus Jones. Oh my God. That was arguably the worst NFL game I've ever watched. Not even Jets game. The worst NFL game.
You even know the worst NFL game you've ever watched was Patriots against Raiders. They tried to like be like
No,
Miami.
that was one of the best games. I loved seeing that ending. That was payback. Payback for that Marcus Jones punt return touchdown, and arguably the worst ending of all time to an NFL game. Like the most embarrassing. For me, it is one of the greatest endings. I was so happy when I saw that play on Red Zone. I was watching Red Zone. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like jumping up and down. I've never felt so happy for the Raiders in my life. I've actually never, and they actually did that against us too. Do you remember that play a few years back where Derek Carr threw it up to their wide receiver?
Oh, Henry, yeah, Ruggs. Oh my God, the go route.
Yeah, oh my, the Jets fired their defensive coordinator after that, and because they sent a full-on blitz, and they didn't even try to cover Ruggs. And he was like at the time he was one of the fastest wide receivers in the league. Like
I know. I don't even understand that.
It was atrocious. But definitely this season's definitely going to be good this year. Thank you so much for joining the show, Max, and we'll see you. I might stream the Hall of Fame game tomorrow, guys, on my new channel, my new streaming channel. Well, it's the same one. I just renamed it. It's called. You can see it on the top of the screen. Actually, it's called Jack Talks Jets Sports Talk Radio. Just look up Jack Talks Jets STR, and then you'll see it. I might be streaming the Hall of Fame game tomorrow, and if I am, feel free to hop in and chat with me on the chat. All right, guys. And so thank you, Max, so much for.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Jack.
Oh no,
And
thank you for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow at to play some football.
if you aren't already, guys, subscribe to Jack Talks Jets.
Yeah, thank you, and you know, big congratulations. Big thank you to Max Malitsky for joining my show, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out, Jet fans.